the first thing I want to take note of is this. Nothing increases your dependence on the grace of God like your confidence in his ability. Nothing increases your dependence on the grace of God like your confidence in his ability. What that simply means is that if I am confident in the ability of God, then I will depend naturally on his grace. Watch this carefully. So the reason why it will be easy for me to wake up in the morning and say, Father, I receive your grace this morning. Lord, I am graced. The reason why we confess that every morning is because I know that the God whose grace I am claiming over my life is a God who is able. You didn't get what I just said right now. Okay, let me give a practical example. Say, for instance, you hear that there's an armed robbery stuff going on around your community. Is that okay? And that the armed robbers are killing people in your community. And all of a sudden, you hear Deacon Henry say, hey, how are you? What's going on there? Oh, no, armed robbers are raiding in my community. And Deacon Henry looks at you and says, what's wrong with you? I'm a protocol officer in the Transforming Church. Don't worry, go into the community, just walk out. Don't be afraid of all of them. How many of you will rely on Deacon Henry's? Deacon Henry, let them see you so that they know who I'm talking about. Just stand, let them see you. I mean, isn't he a nice guy? Yeah, that's good. He's a nice guy, isn't he? Fantastic. Nice guy, man. Nice guy, cool guys, good smiles. I mean, isn't he loving? He's a loving guy. I mean, Henry just looks at you and says, they're killing people in your community. Don't worry about that. I'm a protocol guy in the church. Go into your community. How many of you will rely on this nice guy, this loving guy? How many of you will rely on his words and move into your community? Only his wife. That's why she married him. You catch what I'm saying now? Now wait a minute. Why didn't you rely on his words? Because he has not demonstrated any capacity to deal with robbers in the past. There's no record to the fact that this guy has ever killed any armed robber, arrested any. And so you want me to go out trusting in your words when you have not dealt with any before? You don't even have guns, you don't have anything, and I should just rely on you like that? Okay, thank you very much, sir. You cannot depend on the grace of God. You cannot depend on the grace of the God whose ability you have not studied. Thank you, sir. The reason why when we talk about the grace of God, and we say the grace of God be upon your life, the reason why you don't appreciate it is because you do not have the depth of knowledge about the ability of the God whose grace you are receiving. So it is important that you get to understand so much about the ability of God, because the first thing is God is able. Not first, God is graceful. Before we talk about how graceful God is, let's talk about how able God is. So I rely on the grace of God. I depend on his grace on a daily basis. Why? Because God is able. So anytime I say I am graced, I'm saying I am enabled by God whose ability I know. I am graced. I'm graced. There's a challenge, you don't even know how you're going to deal with it. My God is able. That was all they had to say when they were faced with fiery furnace of fire. My God is able. And people were laughing at them. You're out of your mind when we're talking about fiery furnace of fire. The fire has been heated 7 times. Your God didn't stop it. Which one is easy? To stop the fire from burning 7 times or to deliver me from the fire? Which one is easy? I thought the easiest one is actually to stop the fire from burning 7 times. Is that not true? But our God did not stop the fire from burning 7 times. Our God did not stop them from being thrown into the fire. Our God went into the fire to wait for them. We call him the God of the 0 hour. I don't know, something about this God. It's like he likes issues to become complex. Before he shows up, I don't know, something about him. I don't know if you know the God that I'm talking about. He stretched the oceans, stretched the heavens like a cotton. He is the one that rolls the universe. He is the one that arranges the universe. The stars in their constellation, as big as the stars are and as solid as the sun is, our God commands and they obey. Am I talking to anyone in the house of God? That's how big your God is. How big your God is. He is the God that can cause the stone of David to go right into the head of Goliath, because he knows the secret place and the weakest point of your enemy. Our God is eternal. Our God is mighty. Some call him the way maker. Some call him the heavy load sharer. Some call him the burden bearer. Some call him the pathfinder. Some call him the rock splitter. This God is a trendsetter. There is nothing too big for him. He is current. He is ageless. Our God is forever God. He does not need to be voted into office. He does not need the help of man to be God.
You can order the complete message on the Ability of God series through the numbers showing on your screen. Follow Pastor Sam Oye using these handles on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube to get more updates.